What's up everybody, welcome to another Python 3 recipe. In today's video we are going to talk about nested lists in Python, and in particular we're going to have a look at a very common mistake that most Python developers do when trying to build nested lists in Python. So here our problem statement is, let's suppose we are maintaining an e-commerce website where we have 3 customers and 4 items to sell, and we want to keep track of all the reviews that customer makes on the items they purchase. So for that purpose, let's say we are going to store this information in nested list, and where the outermost list will be representing our 3 customers, and the inner list will be representing the reviews they are assigning to each of the 4 items. So here in Python there is a very wrong way to do this and a correct way. So let's start with the wrong way first. So here, like we said, we are trying to have a nested list to store our reviews, and the innermost list will be storing the reviews that a customer gives to a particular item, and the outermost list is representing our 3 customers. So here we are trying to initialize it this way, and this way we first give to each item which is not yet reviewed the score of known, because it has not been reviewed by the customer. And let's try to run this snippet. So here is our nested list initialized the way we thought we wanted. But there's something very wrong, very implicitly wrong about this, and in order to see that, let's run this second snippet and we will see why. So here in this snippet we are trying to say the customer 2 has purchased and reviewed item 4. So customer 2, this is, we are trying to access the second element of the outermost list, and when we are inside we are trying to edit the 4th element, which is the item 4, and he has reviewed it with the score of 3.9. so here it is, and this is what happens. Look at something is very wrong here. We have edited, we thought we just edited this cell here, so customer 2, and giving a score of 3.9 to item 4. But what happened is that 3 cells are being modified, not just this one, but also this and this one. What went wrong? Well, in order to see that, let's try to print the ID of the innermost list and see how they look like. This is what these lines are for. So here we see the innermost list ID is this, the second one is this, and the third one is this, and what happened is that they are the same. So which means that all the elements of the outermost list are just references to the same Python object. That's why when you're trying to edit, when you're editing, just thinking that you're editing this one, in reality you are editing also this and this, because internally they are all pointing to the same Python object. And there's nothing wrong with this assignment. Here we are just indeed editing one cell. What's wrong in reality is the way we did the initialization here. There's something very implicitly wrong about this. Is the fact that when we are doing it this way, all of these 3 lists are in fact the same Python object. It's just that the outermost list is creating 3 different references to the same Python object. So let's now look at the right way to initialize a nested list in Python. So here it is. Once again, we are trying to initialize our lists of 3 customers and 4 items, and here's the right way to do it. So let's say we now, instead of using this syntax here, we are using this one, and here we are telling Python, okay, create an inner list with 4 sub-elements, with 4 elements, and instead of doing this multiplication like we did here before, we are actually telling Python to create a different. So by doing this for loop here, we are telling Python that each time you are populating the outermost list, create a new Python object for the innermost list. That's why we have to put this for loop here in order to instruct Python to create a different Python object. And as you can see, if we run this second snippet again, we are just editing this cell. So indeed, we are actually doing what we intended to do, which is assign the score of 3.9 for the fourth review, for the fourth item. Sorry, there's a mistake here, and for the second customer. And as you can see for proof here, if we print the IDs of the innermost list again, they are now different, which means that they are actually, for this time, referencing different Python objects. And with that, we have reached the end of this recipe. Hopefully you learned something new. If the case, please give it a thumbs up, and feel free to ask any question in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer those. And as always, you can find the code for this snippet in the description down below, and be sure to subscribe for future videos, and see you later.